This is the Oakwyn Podcast, featuring Morgan Browne and Michael Yu.
Welcome to the Oakwyn Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Yu.
And I'm Morgan Browne.
And I'm the Podfather.
And we are back.
We are back. The band. Yes. The band is back together. Morgan, Michael, Braden. It's been a while.
We have been busy, man.
Yeah, we've been busy. We've been busy baby making.
We had a little bit of a glitch in between. We had a little Michael, we had a little Morgan, and now we're back together.
Yeah, exactly.
In one group.
Is it a dream team?
It's a dream team. It's a dream team. We're back together. This is like exciting. This is an exciting
I know. It's
podcast.
good to see you guys. Like, it's good to be around.
I know. Good energy here.
Yeah. What's that Eminem song? Like, guess who's back?
Oh, guess who's back?
Yeah, back again.
You better play that, Brayden, when we're in here.
All right, let's do it.
Morgan's back.
Yeah. Okay, done.
Michael's back.
That's right.
First of all, Mike is a new father.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I know.
That is a big deal.
It
Right?
is.
It's a big deal. Like, I feel like because, I had another child, but becoming a father.
So wait, went up me, Morgan.
different.
Mike had one, I have
He's only
two.
got one kid, so.
I have two.
I think becoming a new father, that's why, like, it's funny. This is a funny story.
Okay.
When Michael told me that he was pregnant, like with Priya, you can tell him, I actually didn't tell Michael for a long time I was pregnant because I wanted him to enjoy that moment, that moment, because I knew I was pregnant. I was like, I'm not gonna, actually Arlene did too. I told Arlene before I told Mike, and I was like, and then you told me, and I was like, I just need him like a week. I need to give you like a week. And then I told you, but I was like,
so you held it
I held it in because I wanted you to have your moment.
Yeah, you didn't want to steal the thunder.
Yeah.
No.
Thunder.
Yeah. I was
You
like,
gotta let the thunder roll.
Yeah,
I want my best friend to like feel it. You know what I mean?
I enjoyed my moment in the sun, and then Morgan outshone me again.
I was like,
by the way, I am 6 weeks earlier than you. And I'm like, okay, well.
Was there a moment of I'm having the first like Oakwyn girl, and then she was like,
I'm having the
actually,
most.
I am.
We were like, I think we were both so excited to just have kids together.
Yeah.
And
totally.
now, like, they're obviously right now babies.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them to like go away together.
I'm excited to see how they're gonna bond and like interact.
What if they become enemies?
No way.
Oh.
My kid's compassioned.
Rival
empathetic.
factions.
Yeah.
Wow.
My kid will like secretly just kidding.
I think so.
Yes. I know. Yeah. I'm really excited to see kind of it's just been an awesome, like I've actually been off for 2 full months, from work, which has been like,
How was that for you, Mike? 2 months off.
That sounds awesome.
It was an amazing time with family. Like, it's funny. Before I had kids, when people talked about their kids, I was like, it was like that Snoopy, like, I'm like, oh yeah, your kid's beautiful, your kid's cute, and then now having it, you can kind of understand why. Like, yeah, it was just a great time to bond with. Sophia is her name, Sophia Lee Yu, who's
cutest name ever.
So Sophia means wisdom, by the way, in the Greek.
Nice.
Who named her? Was it you or Pri?
Pri. Well,
Good.
Pri came up with Sophia. So
Yes.
we had like a couple names. Sophia was one. I think Leah was the second. And
supposedly the woman is supposed to name the first name of your child because they immediately take the man's last name, and that's good yin yang.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good yin yang. I always name my child. I was like, no.
Right.
But it's good. It's actually good.
It's not because you're a control freak?
No,
I thought that was the reason why. Oh, okay.
Like a little bit of that. Or I have a better idea. No, but Soph is such a sweet, and she's so sweet.
Yeah,
looking.
she is
sweet.
She is very sweet, and we were really lucky too. Like, it's funny. I had my first. She's been really good at night too. Like, all parents are like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna get no sleep." So I set my expectations like extraordinarily low, that I was gonna get zero sleep at all. It was gonna be like terrible. And then a lot of dads told me, "Oh, you're not gonna have a connection with your kid until like they get a little bit older and stuff like that.
Who says that?
A couple, yeah.
I've said that. I've definitely said that. Yeah.
Brayden mentioned that to me. A couple other of my friends were like, they feel nothing until like they start emoting. And I was like, oh, I'm going to feel nothing. I'm going to get no sleep.
What? You really set your expectations. Yeah. That's something
I'm going to have to so I prepared myself in that manner with that mindset. And then, she came.
So tell me, what was the difference? What was the feel of like, do you feel like everything was wrong? Well, everyone told you.
No, I didn't think that. I think we're incredibly lucky. And, it's brought a new meaning to life, which I think is something that it's just cool to experience, and I was really living in that, just in that experience of, enjoying, it's weird. I was enjoying changing diapers, and I was enjoying I desperately wanted to make sure that we were able to bottle feed the baby, because I wanted to see what it was, bond and stuff like that. And so and fortunately enough, she wasn't fussy. And I think every parent thinks they have the cutest kid, but I think we all have different
until you see them later on, and then this is so funny. I thought
she's
Quinn
peaking
was
early,
the cutest kid, and then you watch videos of them when they were baby, and you're like, he wasn't as cute as I thought.
Yeah.
So you mean that baby acne and the cradle cap isn't endearing?
Yeah.
And then they're beat red all the time. That's not ready. That's not cute. Okay.
You were so cute when I saw you guys. We went out for lunch with Priya and my husband too, and Mike was really just owning the dad was a whole had the wrap on, was bottle feeding, and I was changed the diaper. I was like, he is so hands-on. It was really cool. Obviously, I knew you'd be like that because you're just a doer. That's who you are. You just want to do stuff, and you do it faster than other people. So you just were so you're just I'm just going to take it and do it myself.
Unfortunately.
You know what I mean? He's a type of doer, and Priya's different. She's go with the flow, chill. Yeah. And so I knew, but I thought I saw the connection between you and Sophie, and I thought it was super cute. So that's exciting.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was a great 2 months, but it's funny, even in that 2 months, I love what I do. I love, Oakwyn. I love doing the podcast. I love working for clients, and I love working with the agents and everything. So I missed everyone so much. I really was
so it was a kind of a,
I think it was
realization of both.
It was a realization. Sometimes you need a break from something to see how much you love that thing, right? Priya, don't listen to this.
She's not listening anyway. She's not listening into this.
Always, never change. So I think, but having that 2 month break, it put some different perspective on how, fortunate I feel to be able to, do this podcast and to hang out with my friends all day, and the staff who I forced to be my friends. So, or else I cut their pay. That's always a joy.
You are my friend.
Laugh at my jokes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So but I did miss everyone. So I'm really glad to be back. And it actually kind of, I think Morgan is a lot of leopard going on today, but for those there's a lot of
nothing that haven't changed.
No, that's
leopard, this.
If I'm going to be a gazelle and you would be a cheetah.
Why are you gonna gazelle? Fine, I'll take a cheetah. I'm faster.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. But I'm elegant and graceful, and
of course, that's really you.
But I got distracted there for a second. Yeah, but just to just really grateful for what we get to do. And if you're sitting in the car right now, listening to the podcast, for example, and you're on your way to an appointment or serving a client, we should be really grateful for what we have and how, we make a living, right?
Oh God, you're so blessed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's cool that I'm really happy you came back.
Were you scared that I wasn't going to come back?
Well, COVID kind of shook me a bit. I was like, Michael, you got to get back to me.
That was a conversation.
There was a conversation. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, he's going to love it. But at the end of the day, we are so lucky. We do what we do, what we love. We love what we're doing. We're helping a lot of people, and you really feel that energy come back to you. It kind of kind of refills you, makes you feel you have purpose. And that is something that's nice. So it's good to see you like go and then come back and then be like, and I will say this, I said this to my husband and when we saw each other the other day, I said, he's got this fire again underneath him, which is cool to see. Like, do you feel that about yourself?
Yeah, I feel like really excited for like this next season, this next challenge that we're about to, not to say it's an opportunity, but like the next, iteration of, my work specifically, but also like what's happening with the market, what's happening with our company, and how we can better help the agents that we have as well. I came up with some really, we came up with some really great, ideas that we are thinking about implementing and working through. And so, I'm really excited about kind of this next challenge and bringing that fresh perspective and really. It was funny, like we talked to some agents and they feel kind of like the burnout, or they feel kind of like,
burn. I guess which I don't is a terrible way of saying it. Burning out is like you just don't burn out. Like there's some markets that are really hot, and this is like, let's just disclaim this for people that aren't from Vancouver that are listening. We just had the hottest market.
Yeah.
And our brokerage did too, right? Our brokerage was, because of the agents just elevating their business and having an amazing market. It was very fast. It was fast and profitable and very incredibly challenging too. Yeah. That kind of came with it, right?
Right. Yeah. We had agents that double, triple, quadrupled their business. Some of them had like in the first quarter of the year already matched their previous year's gross, or 2 years gross even in some cases. So like, it was so busy, and people were just like, I even felt for myself, I was just kind of working nonstop. And, I think it's, we talked to some people, and you kind of, after you've been doing work like that for 6 months or a year or 2 years or however long you're doing that for, you lose that appreciation for your, and you lose that gratefulness that you have for having the opportunity to serve people, and kind of, the attitude changes a little bit. I don't think it changed too much with me, but I feel like a good amount of joy for sure. How's your break?
My break is still continuing. Actually, I'm still breaking, guys. I'm
break
the
dancing?
mummy, so I have to,
pop in, lock in,
doing everything. I think it's been so. I had my daughter on April 27th, so she's been a joy. She's been so much fun, and she's just like a great baby. She's like sleeps all really well, and it's also different having a girl to a boy too. I had a boy first, and this is having a girl, and that was like, and really,
her name is
Lennon Wright. Lennon Wright is her name. Lennon Hakulea Wright. She's actually Hawaiian. Hakulea means star of gladness in Hawaiian.
Cool.
And Lennon means lover, because when we had her in me, there's a lot of love, like that's what I felt. Just a lot of love, lots of heart. And so she came fast and furious, and she was there, and all of a sudden she's just this cute little munchkin baby. I have really big babies. For some reason, my babies are like chubby and healthy, very healthy.
That's good.
She's just been so.
Well, babies like Michelin Man babies are the cutest babies.
She's really Michelin Man. She's really Michelin Man. But now she's heading to a point where I'm having more fun with her. She's laughing now, and she's. We're doing airplanes. You're
putting on a strict exercise regimen like your dad did for you.
Oh my God. I know, right? I'm like,
do your push-ups, Morgan. Do your sit-ups.
She's actually quite Filipino looking. She's very dark, right?
Which is so different. So
for people that don't know.
For those that don't know what Morgan's kids look like, one like Quinn
is fair-skinned with red hair.
Right.
And this one, and Lennon is dark eye, dark hair, and dark skin.
Yeah.
And it's just such a crazy
thing. It's like a weird gene pool. Yeah,
thing.
It's like a weird gene pool thing. It's just a total random crapshoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Quinn has been such a good brother and caring and so, but he's a toddler, so he's got a lot of emotions right now. But he's anyways, it's been really fun. But at the same I have some time to do lots of walks. I do a lot of walks with Lennon, and I do a lot of potting. I'm talking on the phone a lot still. And it's giving me a lot of time to think, which has been, I think, the best thing for me. It's kind of like what happened with Quinn. I came back really strong again and brought new ideas, and then going with Lennon, same thing. I'm putting a different hat on, and we're just so lucky to do what we do and have this business and have agents that are incredible human beings. I think that's another thing.
Yeah.
So it's just been a really good run. It's been so much fun. I'm just excited for enjoying them and enjoying this business. And
how long do you like advise someone to take if they have
take time off?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard. Like I said this in my mother podcast, it's all about capacity. For me, I like to be busy. So for me, I could juggle a lot of things. Like for instance, right now I'm doing a podcast for 4 hours and my husband is bottle feeding her for the kind of couple hours that are there. So I can still do little kind of things, but for some people it's as long as you want. I think for every mother, one thing I forgot to tell everybody on the mother podcast is, just don't be so hard on yourself. Like immediately people want to get back into shape and they want to get their life back and whatever, but just enjoy those moments. And you just did a very important thing in this, for your family and for yourself, and just enjoy those moments and don't be so hard on yourself and give yourself some grace. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah. But I'm back at it. Like I worked out this morning. I'm like back in my mind trying to get everything. I've got all these ideas, but I'm trying to kind of take a second, as Arlene said, and just enjoy those still moments.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's so exciting. Life finds a way. Yeah. That's from Jurassic Park, actually.
Yes.
Is it? I think so. Yeah.
There's a lot of Eminem, a lot of different.
Yeah. So I think it's just it's really cool, but it is really nice to be back. It's cool to be back, and it feels like the market was just like white hot, and then now it feels like there's like a bit of a summer break, right?
It's a
and
nice
we've noticed,
break.
we've noticed some, like even in the statistics, the July stats came out for the real estate board, and in terms of activity, and listings were really down, right?
Way down, and transactions were too. So I think that's everyone needs a little bit of time with their family and to go and go out.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Great Zen master.
I don't know. I think a lot of people got, with regards to the news and what was happening on an actual public level, people are getting afraid of getting overbid for a long time. And people just, the psychological, I guess confidence for buyers has kind of gone down. And then the sellers are just kind of COVID. I think there's still out there, guys. I think people are still scared and to open their houses up unless they need to or want to.
I don't want to get anecdotal or anything like that. I want to use hard data, evidence, based things. But I've just talked to lots of my clients and like people that other agents, and they were just saying my buyers or my sellers, they want to take a break for the summer. They this is a nice summer. They want to go away. They want they want to spend time with family. It's just been like kind of, so it feels like I don't want to facts over feelings, but I just that's kind of been the kind of narrative for a lot of my own clients, but it's like, what do we do in these kind of more quiet times to make sure that we're that we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the fall, right?
Do you think what do you think that we have for the next quarter? Like, what is our predictions for that? What do you think is going to be the predictions for our real estate market in Vancouver?
Yeah, is it going to pop off again?
Well, I'll go first because Morgan, we did a prediction show earlier this year. And don't listen to that if you're a fan of Michael Yu. If you're a fan of Morgan Browne, which everyone is that listens to this. Yeah, something happened in that prediction. What happened in that prediction show?
Well, everything I said was right.
Nailed it.
I have very good intuition, people. My
And so maybe I'll go first because Morgan will probably be right. Okay.
No.
Maybe we'll agree.
First so you don't copy me.
That was what I was going to do.
But my prediction, Morgan's got that. She's always right. She's got that mother's intuition. But now you have a father's intuition.
So I got some new.
Yeah, you got new superpowers.
Yeah.
Brad.
Don't
Brandon,
tell
you
him
know
that. Don't tell him that. It's worth
You know
nothing.
that. It's worth nothing.
Okay, let me look in my crystal ball here. Tea leaves.
Tea leaves.
What do? They do bones too, right?
Bones,
They like
yeah.
rattle bones or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Do
I
they
don't
rattle
know.
bones?
I don't know.
Should we get some bones?
I believe in
You dig it some
tarot cards.
Yeah, tarot cards. Okay. So, just looking at September and after, I feel like we've just had such a white hot pace.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be really based on interest rates. So
Okay.
and I think we talked about this before, and the Bank of Canada hasn't announced any changes in the interest rate. So I actually feel pretty strongly that the market I don't know if it's going to be as busy as it was, January to
March, April.
May of this year. I don't think it'll be that busy, but I think 30 or 40% less than that amount of activity, but which is still a good market, which is still a great market.
It's a very hot market.
It's still a hot market.
Is that a seller's market or a buyer's market?
I think it'll be a seller's market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, and I don't want to get too optimistic, but obviously Canada is opening up the borders to immigration. I think
September.
Yeah, in September as well.
August and September, yeah.
And I don't know about you. I've already gotten contacted by several clients that are moving here from Hong Kong and from from Asia to buy properties. I've gotten a couple referrals. I'm going to go out on Saturday actually to do a virtual tour for like a client that's probably just going to buy the place. But I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Or knock wood, whatever it is. But yeah, so I like to temper it a little bit. So I do think it's going to be busy. So I'm fairly optimistic, and I'm normally.
I think we're on the same page.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Shit.
I think we're on the same page.
Shoot.
I personally, I think the same thing. I think we are going to have a very quiet August. I think our September will get people back into shape. You're going to see a lot more product come out to the market September, October. Then it'll start dipping down just a tad, but the buyers are going to have a lot of confidence coming in September all the way to about end of October, November. And then it'll probably slow down a bit for the new year.
Yeah. And with this big influx of this immigration that is supposed to happen, we don't know if it will. Those typically, the target purchases for those individuals are going to be the detached homes, and also obviously the condos. It's a little
downtown.
bit, yeah, little bit. So we've just had, I think the best market over the last 6 months was townhouses, right? Yeah. So like a transitionary kind of not transitionary, but like a property for locals, right? So we'll kind of see what happens with pricing as well, and with activity, and kind of what the best things to purchase
I feel like it's going to be, I'm hoping it slows down so I can buy something.
Morgan's looking, right?
I'm definitely looking. I had a whole idea of redoing our whole house, and then my intuition again was like, no, don't do it. So
is that what your intuition sounds like?
No.
That sounds annoying.
Yeah.
That's what Jiminy Cricket sounds like to you?
Exactly.
No.
Like Tinkerbell, okay?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Tinkerbell's where you're Jiminy Cricket.
I'm Jiminy Cricket, yeah.
No, I think it's I think hopefully our market picks up. I'm really excited about what Oakwyn's going to do in the next 3 to 4 months. I think people that are listening that are with Oakwyn right now, I think you guys can get excited. We have our North Vancouver office opening up.
Yeah.
Huge office, which is going to really bring in a lot of energy and a lot of attention to the North Shore. We have a really special guest coming out in September for our last quarter, which is our Pursue Growth and Learning themed kind of quarter that we have. So you're going to see a lot of really great contests, a lot of different ideas of people coming back together because of COVID and people being vaxxed and having that in their space. And then we also just have lots of new ideas. Usually Oakwyn, during that time, our team, the leadership team gets together, says, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And we really just try to hit it out of the park. So for people that are with Oakwyn, we are just so grateful and lucky that we got to spend this great year with you, but we're excited for the next year. Yeah. We're really excited for 2022.
Totally.
It's going to be even more powerful.
it's a great feeling that, we've, obviously the company's been growing, the market's been good, but we have such great people, right?
Oh,
so like there's just,
they're badass.
yeah,
They're badass. We have and really not boring people, like incredibly.
yeah, I was
I was saying, I'm like, don't hire boring people. It's like, we have our people are just so, they're just so incredible. They're such great, kind, trustworthy, and yeah, not to float all these guys' boat, but they're just such pros in our industry, and that is really incredible to see all under one, really one big umbrella.
And everyone kind of sharing like ideas and best practices and everything like that, and it's just been like, it's great to see. But yeah, there's like a lot of exciting things kind of coming up on
I
our
can't wait
end.
to see what our Oakwyn wins will be for 2021 or 2022, which is how many people are doing business amongst each other in this year.
Yeah, in the brokerage. Yeah. So that I'm excited to see all this, the numbers and stuff like that roll through and stuff like that. So that's really a good thing. So like, if you're kind of doing your planning right now, so let's put ourselves in a position where, we've just sold, we've either getting just sold, or we're kind of thinking about like how to refresh for the rest of the year.
Great.
Like, what would we do? Like, what would you do? Like, how would you start your planning? Okay. How do you start your planning process? What does that look like? For
our resale team, because I'm coming back pretty much September, October.
Right.
We have to kind of put all of our review. Number one, review your numbers, review where they're coming from, review your past, review what you've done for the last, I guess 8 months. Reflect.
Yeah.
And look back at what you did right in that whole process. What have you been watering? What has been your number one source of income, source of prospect? So that's number one. And then number two is, what's the goal? Like, what's the real goal here? What's the end number that you'd like to see? What do you want your people to, what do you want to be proud of at the end of the year? And just kind of get everyone back in that mindset. I'm talking about a team. So it's, trying to get everyone together, but even yourself, what would you be proud of seeing at the end of the year? And what are you doing it for? You always need to have some purpose behind that. Figure out what is it? If you hit 100 ends or if you hit 20 ends, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to put, planning for the next year in front of you, right? 2022. But I think the biggest thing is reflect, review everything, set your new goals in place. And that could be either on your gross or your net, or it could be based off of how many DLNs you want to take on, right? So what do you do for planning for the next, because you're back now. Did you meet with your team? I did meet with my team, and I, for myself, when I have a break, I really, everyone's a bit different. I really like to write, so I like to write all my ideas down. I write with an old paper and pen. She has a feather there. Yeah, a feather and a quill. Yeah, exactly. It's ink, not it's oil. Sorry. So let me just lick my pen point here and bring you to school here. And basically, I really think that you gotta just do a brain dump. Because what a lot of people, that's very classy. And just like kind of you gotta just put everything down on a piece of paper and just get it out of your mind. And I think that a lot of people make decisions without a clear thoughts, without a clear mind, and if there's things that are kind of, if you're about to make a big decision or you're doing planning, you have to put yourself in the correct mindset to do so. I used to make big decisions when I had 1,000,001 things going on at the same time, and I hadn't had a chance to kind of be kind of open and clear-minded and objective. So that starts kind of me just throwing out all the ideas down on a piece of paper, many pieces of paper, and then kind of ordering them in terms of order of importance and priorities. Like, what's like the most important thing? What's going to have the most impact? What's going to be the most meaningful, right? And what does that really look like? And I spent a lot of time kind of ordering things and like, why is this one more important than that one? And then I categorize them into into the areas of my life or the areas of my business that need any shift or adjustments. And then I kind of plan it out and I write it and I look at
like Morgan, I look at the past and what has worked for us in the past, and look at what systems we have and start making tweaks and adjustments, and then, kind of going from there. And I feel like as a leader, if you're leading a real estate team, even if you're not leading a real estate team, like if you're an agent, you're running your own business. You are the El Capitan.
El Capitan, that's right.
You're the Picard. You're the Captain Kirk. You're the Jack Sparrow.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So, so you have to really like, even if you're leading yourself, you need to be able to like, lead. And so, having that clear mindedness. And I think it's really important if you do have a team, it's how you communicate your thoughts and your ideas to your.
Okay. So what are some tips to that? What are some tips to how you communicate to your team? Just because we're on that, how, you have these incredible ideas, you've looked at everything. What are some tips that, hey, give me the tips on how to relay this and communicate this to your team?
Right. So again, like map it all out and then go big to small. So, so first, I think it's really important to listen to the people on your team. So go around, hear them out, like, categorize the meeting into like what we're going to talk about. If we're talking about future, if we're talking about the next 6 months, we're talking about more revenue, we're talking about saving expenses, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about sales, we're talking about accounting and finance. Like you got to understand where any innovation that you're thinking about bringing in, you got to like kind of put them into categories. And then I always start with big to small. So like, what's the most important thing that you want to do, and get everyone's input and ideas. And be pretty prepared, like, you may even want to send it an agenda in advance so that people kind of know what we're talking about, and then kind of listen to the team. And really, if you're in a team, you want to all move together. So, you want to be like those ducks flying as a perfect V. And, you need that company, you need everyone there together to, to fly together south. But,
I get what I'm trying to.
I only have crows.
That's why you're moving.
I was going to say it might be geese that fly in a V, but I get the metaphor. Yeah. Keep going.
Ducks or geese? No, geese. Yeah. So like, you want to be flying in unison, right? And so you need to obviously get everyone's input and then present something that everyone agrees to. And then, really get excited about hitting that destination.
How do you keep people, I think people excited about things as we're ending the end of the year? Like, how it kind of drops off because we're like, a lot of people you're only good as your last year, right? How do you get people like to kind of give that? And I just got this question from another agent to me. How do I get my team to push even harder so that we can get to that goal at the end of the year, right? What is it going to be the thing that's going to push them to that next level? Because it's getting cold. It's going to get cold outside. It's going to get wet. You know what I mean? We just had a good year. They can just float. You know what I mean? So what do you do within that 3 months?
Right. I hate to burst anyone's bubble. In my experience, working with, running a business and being in real estate for 15 years, you cannot motivate anybody. Nobody can be motivated. It's either you're motivated or you're not motivated. And you can't motivate. You can't
people.
You can't. Very motivational.
Yeah. You can't give someone a reason to work. Like they have to know their own reason, but you can help them to realize what's important to them, and that your goals and your and their goals are aligned. So that everyone, if we accomplish the task, we all win. And, and that's, so I don't think you can like say something specifically. If someone,
get them going.
If someone's lazy, they're lazy.
Yes.
Like there's nothing you're going to say to that person to make them unlazy, but basically you can show them that it is possible for someone to do great work. It's possible for, if I'm able to do this, then you're also able to accomplish the things that you like for yourself. And so, I feel like if you have someone on your team that, is either underperforming or, you probably, either didn't show them the correct ways in which for them to realize like how they can hit their targets, or they just don't got it. And if they don't got it, they don't got it. That's just my how about in your experience?
I mean, I think you're right. I think you just are already, your team should be already aligned. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone's pretty aligned with what the goal is. I think that you can always remind them of the long-term goal that you set from the beginning of the year so that it doesn't taper off. You know what I mean? And I think, to be honest, I think it's about spending time with your team. You know, even our team at Oakwyn, when we spend like some really good time together, we do some amazing things. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the same thing can go with your resale team. I think you just need to spend some time, again, listen to each other and come back together. You know, like sometimes you were so scattered in the last, 8 months, just being so busy that you forget that like, hey, this is a family and we're trying to go towards that same goal. So I think spending some more time together is always like the key thing.
Yeah. And I think you're hitting the nail on the head, and it's being consistent with that as well. Something that a lot of agents, in my experience, fail to do. They set a program up and then they like stop doing it.
Yes.
So they're like, okay, we're going to do like Monday meetings. And then like they do the first 2 and then it's like, doesn't happen anymore. And, it's that kind of rhythmic, thing that they can expect. And I think that that's good leadership, and it's good to have that, kind of regularity, because it sets the tone, right?
Yes,
you don't want an inconsistent, service level to your clients. So you have to deliver that to your team.
To your team. Yeah. Well, I'm very excited for the next little bit of time for this end of the year. We have some really great stuff coming out to Oakwyn. I'm happy to be back. Really full force with you back on this podcast.
Yeah,
this
totally.
is my first thing to get back into the loop, and just to have some incredible guests that we're going to have coming up. Yeah, we got some cool guests coming up, and we have some exciting new things with the pod. And it's been really awesome. Like thank you, Brayden. Our listenership has gone up for, while I was away, which was kind of weird. But maybe it's that they just miss you and they wanted to hear you more.
Yeah, there you go.
I can sell anything. Come on.
But the listenership has been really good, and I've gotten lots of messages and direct messages from people with just that it helped them through this, this point in their business, or, it's been really cool.
Yeah. And if you're an agent that's out there right now that is either another brokerage or just getting into real estate, feel free to give us a call or even just write us an email at oakwyn.com/join. And feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about your business and talk to you about kind of your next goals, what your goals are.
And if you're into stuff, if you type into the message box pod 2021, you get a free piece of mystery swag. I think on that note, we'll wrap this.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Oakwyn podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.